Today we're going to be going over the Axial Yeti Score Trophy Truck. So I picked this thing up for around $500 with shipping. I got the ready to run version, brushless. Didn't come with a battery, but that's okay. Let's start with the basics. Let's get into this. So, taking a look at the box, I got some pretty cool photos on it. You know, it displays a few of the features. Says it's mainly made for desert and off-road. On the bottom here, we get a view of the truck without a body. Shows you a few more of the features. High-low transmission options. All sorts of cool things you can do with it. Realistic scale details such as like the hood louvers and the grill, the spoiler, taillight buckets, headlight buckets, you know, the method wheels, those are pretty nice. I like those. It's a nice scale touch. Another scale touch is the spare tire. Full functional spare. It's awesome. Like, it's a real spare tire. It comes with a brushless Vanguard system, a 3150 kV motor. It's pretty good, especially on the low end. If you keep the stock gearing, it's a little slow, but if you change that, it gets pretty quick. It comes with a dual slipper clutch, so there's a lot of different gearing options that you can get for it. Let's see here. On the other side, we got more views of it. We got AR60 OCP axle in the rear, no King off-road shocks, metal gear tactic servo, waterproof receiver box, 3-channel transmitter, 3-channel receiver, which is real nice. So if you do get that 2-speed transmission or the NVS system or whatever, you can plug it into that 3rd channel, and on the remote you can use these buttons to turn your lights on and off or switch into 1st and 2nd gear, which it's all reversible too, so you can have it whichever way you like, which for me personally, 1st gear is going to be down and 2nd gear is going to be up, and that's just because I'm a motocross rider. That's kind of how I go through gears. So, you know, it's all up to you and how you want to set that up, and I'll go into that once I get the 2-speed transmission. Vanguard ESC, one thing about this truck is you will need a LiPo battery. The Vanguard ESC comes from the factory with the LiPo cutoff already on, so if you try and run a nickel battery, it's gonna start complaining real quick. Like, it won't go anywhere, it won't be fast or torquey or punchy or anything, and it's just going to hit cutoff instantly. So keep that in mind when you get one of these. Make sure you have the proper batteries that you're running in this thing. You need at least a 2-cell LiPo. I recommend a 3-cell because it makes it a lot more fun. I would recommend a higher milliamp too, because that'll give you a lot better runtime. But keep in mind, with your driving styles and how long you're running, how hot your motor is going to get, and you might want to, you know, buy some cooling fans for some of your components at that rate. Independent front suspension and a 4-linked rear suspension, and it also comes with an integrated rear sway bar, and it's really nice. I love that. We got the wild boar drive shaft. It's proven tough. I mean, no one really complains about those things. I haven't heard much about them. I've seen one guy who's blown a few of them out, but it seemed like he was just maybe doing something a little too crazy with it. You know, you gotta think this is a 10th scale truck. You gotta imagine you were actually in this truck. What would you actually drive over? So, you know, don't just start jumping it off cliffs and doing this, that, and the other. Here's the other side of the box that you can look at yet. Pretty nice. Got a bunch of different sponsors here. I'll go through them. We've got Score International, King Off-Road Shocks, BF Goodrich, Method Wheels, Magnaflow, Rigid Industries, Sparco, Lawrence, Fuel Safe, out, it's kind of covered by the sticker. You know, you get the idea. It's so many different sponsors and whatnot went into, you know, they just went to every single person and said, how can we, you know, incorporate what you do in a one-to-one fashion to our 10 scale trucks, and they all worked together and came up with this. And this thing is a beast. So there's one end of the box. This end's got a few, tells you some stuff you'll need, has a little bit of information here, and some specifications, dimensions, and all that. Obviously right here you can see I cut the box a little bit, and that was to get the serial number off the box, because I like to hang on to those, because I tend to engrave my metal parts with the serial numbers of the trucks that they go on, just in case anything were to ever happen and they all got parted out or whatever, and it'd be, at least I'd have a chance of trying to recover that stuff. Not saying that I would recover it, but it gives me at least a chance, you know. Alright, so ready to run. Everything you're going to need that it's not providing you with is at least a 25C battery. I believe, yeah, I was using a Venom 20C and it was working just fine, but you know, it recommends a 25C, but I'm usually running on the 30Cs, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to need a charger, obviously, for your battery. If it doesn't come with the battery, it's probably not going to come with a charger. And you're also going to need 4 AA batteries for your Tactic remote, and that's kind of a given. You know, some companies include that stuff, some don't. It depends on who you're dealing with, really. Right here, it gives you a few more kit specifications. 2.4 gigahertz system. We got an ESC with drag brake. We got one motor. It's electric, obviously. Pre-painted body, because it's ready to run. 0.40 body thickness. Already said recommended terrain is desert and off-road. 10 scale truck, it's on the higher end of the speed spectrum, 4-wheel drive. This thing's awesome. So, let's dig into it. The first thing you notice out of the box is this. I'll show you something. I got the body all unpinned, but the travel on this thing is absolutely insane. Front and rear travel is just nuts. You know, this axle can just like go all the way up into there, and it's still like, you know, that's all 4 wheels on the ground, and that truck's all jacked up. So, you know, and it's also like really scaling the fact that how it sits when it's running. It's kind of squatting, and it runs real good. Like I mentioned before, full spare tire that's functional. All you have to do is bolt the hub on and then bolt it to the axle or front steering knuckle, whatever you got going on. Whichever tire you happen to mess up, which I've never actually, well, actually no, I take that back. I've blown out a few tires, but it was mainly because I was running a /2 wheel drive in a rocky environment on worn out stock tires, and it was just all bad. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this truck, because this thing is way better than my Slash in every aspect of life. So let's start at the front, I guess. Starting in the front, if you look, it gives you a really nice bumper. It has a few mounting points. Obviously, they're going to have some light bar options coming out for this thing that will probably go real well with their MVS system. It's got a real, actual hard plastic grill with the buckets bolted in behind the body. Show you that real quick. See, you got actual headlight buckets there. As far as the hood louvers, those are actual, like they're airflow can move through those, and you'll see dust coming out of them every once in a while, and all that goodness. As far as underneath, tons of play in the suspension. A little squeaky, but that's just nature of the beast. When you have plastic control arms, they squeak. I have a changed spur gear so that I can get a little bit more speed out of it. I believe it's a 56 tooth or 54 or something like that. Moving to the rear end. Obviously this is not the stock AR60 rear axle. This is the wide diamond centered rear axle from SSD. I have the SSD trailing arms as well, and they're linked up together with the STRC lower link mounts, which beautiful fitment on all these parts. I also have the Incision titanium upper links. I can't tell you how amazing this truck has been performing with this rear end. It eliminated a lot of the issues that this truck had stock, which was mainly torque steer, and you know, the drivetrain was getting real warm, I noticed, and so I was looking at the angle it was sitting at, and I saw this axle on YouTube and how it changed the angle of the drive shaft too, and I had to go with this axle because it not only looks amazing and like a real scale axle, but it also, like, it performs so much better. Few things that I changed: 35 weight oil, all four corners. I'm running a 30C 5000 milliamp LiPo in there. I have a few more sitting around here, charging and whatnot. It comes with an interior tray. I painted mine flat black to make it a little bit more scale. Different helmet options. Comes with so much different cool stuff. This is a custom piece. This is an aluminum paneling and an aluminum refill housing. We also put aluminum paneling on the sides as well to try and stiffen up the cage. It's held up pretty good so far. I just need to build an entire cage for it. As you can see, that Lexan will blow out if you cut out that windshield and take a few good rolls. The rear end also has taillight buckets, and the RTR body does have clear plastic behind the red stickers to show you, or to allow the light to shine through, so that's really cool. Mud flaps are RPM. They're for the slash rear bumper or whatever. Real nice add-on, you know, nothing too crazy. Body goes on with 4 pins, just like most other trucks that I'm used to. I come from a short course background, so it's always kind of been 4 pins. I like how these ones are pretty buried in the back. That's pretty nice. I don't really like the fact that these front ones are on the hood. But yeah, other than that, truck's amazing. Handles pretty good. If you haven't gotten one, I'd say get one already, and in the meantime, I'll be on the track. Okay, let's go over how it runs. Now, handling wise, it's a trophy truck, not a short course truck, so you should expect a completely different driving experience. It's heavy, it turns different, has no problem through the rock gardens, as you can see. Absolutely beautiful the way it goes over those river rocks. Now, it's fairly easy to keep it within a line and pick lines with this truck because of how well it handles terrain. You have 4 inches of travel in the rear, 2.5 in the front. It's absolutely amazing. If you balance it out right and
what I mean by that is it's a nose-heavy vehicle natively, so you gotta kind of balance it out a little better than what it comes out of the box in order to make it run right and stay truly level as it's jumping. Now, one thing I'd like to mention is this thing is incredibly scale looking. Like, as you can see from these slow motion videos here, as it's coming through the trail and just ripping around that corner, completely awesome the way it looks, the way it handles these whoops. It's just completely at home in that rough terrain. It's amazing. Thank you for watching.